Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Washington Commanders.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go in our nation's capital. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game.
Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
You want to talk about a driven player partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Throwing his dart. There's a short one caught by Johnson.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Dart going to look to throw here.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
Yards. And the Giants first down.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Dart. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Jalen Lane deep for Washington. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So here's Washington now backed up a bit to start their first drive.
And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
Throwing now is Daniels. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
Commanders, first down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
And a fast footwork by White. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 11 more on that one and another first down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Brown goes in motion left. They go right back to White here on first down. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
This is 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
To the air goes Daniels. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Gunnar Olszewski deep for the Giants. Fair catch called for in May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
Running out of the gun with White. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
First down. 1st and 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Got a man. It's Dyami Brown, complete.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
Brings up fourth down.
Tressway on fourth down is sent out to punt.
Back deep is Gunnar Olszewski. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here's Dart.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
Here's Lane.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Washington.
Jalen Lane,
85 yards.
and the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes us a 9-point game.
Commanders 9, Giants nothing.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Oh, heck of a move. And able to get this out to the 25. And New York set to take the field. Remember, they had the safety go against them the last time they had it. Fortunately, their defense just forced the punt, so they'll try again as they start 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
Play action now. Dart. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there.
It's second
And
down.
that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Throwing his dart.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Throwing dart.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Here's Stout to punt as he boots this one away.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. Got his man, Okonkwo.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Yeah, that's a good start to drive number 2. Remember, they had to punt the first time they had it. So maybe a little bit different sense of purpose here, and they start out with a nice gain and a quick first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown, 50 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead.
16. Giants nothing.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Dances by him.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And New York set to take the field. They're already looking up at a 16-0 deficit. Still plenty of time to go, first quarter. But work to be done as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Pretty good first down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense and have an option available on every snap.
Dart going to give to Scannaboo.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
They'll stay on the ground with Scannaboo.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away.
And here we go on the next drive for Washington. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Paulson Adebo on the coverage.
Here's 2nd and 10. And he's going to use his legs here.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw is Daniels.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football
as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
Oh, man, it's Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Washington Commanders first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
No gain on the play.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here's Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
The Giants going to take over again on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Looking to put a drive together.
Play action. Now Dart. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
And a nice job by the 2 of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board.
2nd and 10.
They fire this one quickly to Austin. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Dart from the gun on 3rd down. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 31-yard line.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
A gain of 14.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
That ball caught by Slayton, and he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 23 yards, the final tally.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Cam Scadaboo taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Giants are able to cut into that deficit.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that trims the lead down to 9.
16. Giants 7.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Throwing to start the drive, Daniels. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line.
Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action. Daniels to the right side and caught by Senate. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. They juked him. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
12 yards.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
First down, here's White. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
He was taken down
2 yards the
behind line of
loss,
scrimmage.
2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2.
Every year I go to the
Brings up
combine and
2nd
marvel at
and
the speeds that
12
linebackers
at
are
the
running nowadays. They run
13-yard
like
line.
DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
And 12 yards to go.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Daniels from the gun on third down.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Jaden Daniels.
A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders are able to stretch out their lead.
Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead.
Commanders 23, Giants 7.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
To the air, Dart. That one taken in by Neighbors.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it second down.
7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
An inside run with Scatterboot. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
41-yard line.
Throwing his Dart. Now he's going to step up and run.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Give up the middle, Scatterboot. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line.
36. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They'll try it now with Scatteroo. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here's Dart. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw, Dart. Crossing route, catch made by Johnson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
To throw is Dart.
This one is Slayton over the middle. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 15-yard line.
Second down and 6 now.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
They'll run from the gun with Scatteroo.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
20-yard line.
Third down and 10. Working out of the gun is Dart. This one finds Austin out right.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
1st and goal, New York.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Dart.
And that is incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Dart going to look to throw here.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
All right, Captain, let's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
They'll try to throw for it with Dart.
Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Oh, they'll run the option right. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD.
Jackson Dart
keeping it himself from a yard out.
And the Giants take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Sanders now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's now 23-14.
Makes the score.
And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts
as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
Daniels looking to throw. Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
That's good for a Commanders first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Throwing now is Daniels. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
On the throwaway. Paulson Adebo on the coverage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They run straight ahead here with White. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the 2nd half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
What they were able to do on the ground in the first half, because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Looking to put a drive together.
Off the play fake. Daniels gets the check down throw to White.
Only able to gain a couple there. And it's second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
To throw is Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. He'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Now he'll try to run with this.
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's 3rd and 7. To the air goes Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 43. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 43.
Quick slant to Brown.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Giants' 35-yard line.
2nd and a couple. They'll go up the middle with White. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10.
This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Here's White. They set up the screen. Nifty move. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Yeah, quick throw there is incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Third and goal.
And now third and goal following incompletions on first and second down. Now Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
They'll try and run it here. Well, we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
On the ground, it's Scatteroo to start the drive. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. They're holding to no gain.
And this will be a Giants first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
It's a gain of 11.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Now Dart. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I know that rookie quarterbacks have to earn veteran receivers' trust. Maybe we saw that on that play with that type of effort, huh?
Yeah, helping out the rook with a heck of a catch.
First down, here's Scalaboo.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Adafe Owe there on the tackle.
Second and 10.
Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll start on the ground with Scalaboo.
And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
To throw now, Dart. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
The Washington offense set to take over.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
They'll motion McLaurin left. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 7.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
Here's Daniels.
He completes it right side away. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
To me, this is a case of if you're not getting the ball, you've got to do your job and block for the guy who is, because there really wasn't much there, and boy, the defense took advantage with that loss.
And the defense, they were just locked in there on 3rd. They had more guys than they could block. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That's caught left side by Neighbors.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Still 1st down.
Scadaboo going to run it out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards there on the play as they try to chip away at this 15-point deficit.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Boston, the man in motion left. And once again, it's Scadaboo. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. To throw, Dart. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Dart from the gun on 3rd down.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. That's taken on the 25. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Second and 9 now.
This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And now it's 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Back to throw. Daniels. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 13 yards, good for a Giant 1st down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a 1st down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. now here on EA Sports. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4.
Out of the gun, here's Dart. Again, it's Johnson.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
They'll go play action here with Dart. That's complete. It's Neighbors.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A gain of 6. And the Giants first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On a jet sweep, here's Neighbors.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Looking to throw, Dart. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The Giants on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, a throw for Dart.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Malik Neighbors.
53 yards.
And the Giants are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll start here with a handoff to White.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
It's a gain of 6.
61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here is 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw. Daniels. That is caught. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
That's good for a Commanders first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And the tackle there by Micah McFadden. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 22-yard line. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. A few moving pieces on that play, because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
Daniels looking to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown.
And the Commanders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A gain of 9 yards. That's another Washington Commanders first down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
White. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Delay of game, offense.
Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Over the middle here to Brown. They'll give him a dozen on the pitch and catch, but now they're up against a 3rd and goal.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Daniels going to try to sneak.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Commanders have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is up to 15 now. A 10-play drive that time. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Defense is always talking about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down.
Now 2nd and 9. Throwing his dart. They'll set up the screen to Scattermove.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Giants first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
To the air, dart.
Going for the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Giants.
Malik Neighbors with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Giants get a bit closer.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Washington offense heading out.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is Do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They go play action. Daniels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. And the Giants ready to come out now.
And at this stage, in the fourth, they need to work this into the end zone. A field goal doesn't do much. We'll see if they can cash in following the fumble recovery. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. A give, it's Scatteroo. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Dart going to look to throw here.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Tyrone Tracy. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
To throw is Dart. He'll try and do this himself.
And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
1st and goal.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Dart going to give to Scatteroo.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Cam Scatteroo
With his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Giants have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
The Giants will line up for the...
They're going to try and run for it, but he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead.
Giants 34.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Commanders' offense set to take over.
Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
The drive starts with a run by White. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
at the 29-yard
Defensively,
line.
no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on second down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. That's to the sideline and incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And sensing the momentum, maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. This is 1st and 10. Now Dart. He'll check this one down to Scatterbo.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here's Dart. That's going to be caught. It's Austin. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. That's caught by Johnson. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
On the handoff, this is Scatterbo. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes second down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Sanders is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now Washington down by 1. A minute 4 on the clock. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on 1st down.
He's back to throw.
Short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
Complete to Chig Okonkwo. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 40-yard line.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
Back to throw.
And that's complete to Brown.
Huge 1st down, gotta hurry.
Yeah, now they have to get up there, get set, and then spike it.
That's good for a Washington 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
Out of bounds at the 45-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's 2nd down.
He'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This from 52, and this for the win. And this one is right down the middle. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds.
Giants
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.